The fate of your life is determined by your ability to make high-quality decisions that are aligned with your purpose. The first step to making high-quality decisions in your life, of course, it's to know your purpose. It's to know your direction. Because before you know your direction, you don't know where you're going, so you can't really make high-quality decisions on where you should be putting your time, energy, attention, and resources. So that's the first step. You need to get crystal clear on where it is you're going, and you need to have a strong sense of purpose in your life. Once you have a clear sense of purpose, and you have a clear vision for your life, then it becomes about taking aligned action towards the realization of that vision, that purpose. Now, in order for you to do that effectively, it's very important that you learn to think long-term. This can be a bit challenging because we're typically not long-term thinkers as a species. Human beings are much better at short-term thinking than long-term thinking. So what tends to happen is we confuse the short-term results of an action with the long-term results of an action. The short-term results of an action and the long-term results of an action are typically different and are often opposites. So I'll give you an example of this. Let's say I'm about to indulge in a cheeseburger. The short-term result of eating a cheeseburger is a sense of satisfaction and pleasure. You know, it titillates my taste buds. That's the short-term result, is just like this pleasure. The long-term result of eating a cheeseburger, eventually, if I keep eating those cheeseburgers, it can lead to things like heart disease and other chronic illnesses. So, pleasure in the short term, heart disease in the long term. These are opposites in terms of the result that I get. And if you see me waving my hand, by the way, it's because there's mosquitoes everywhere. trying to not get bitten alive here. So anyway, the key is, how do we start taking action based on long-term thinking? How do we start making decisions that take into account the long-term impact that those actions that we're deciding to do are having on our lives? This is where the technique that I wanted to share with you here comes into play. This is something that I learned from Matthew Dicks, and the technique is called your 100-year-old self. The next time you're faced with a decision, whether it's a very small one, like should I eat that donut or not, or something much bigger, like which career direction should I go in, I'd like you to consult your 100-year-old self. So how it goes is you bring to mind an image of yourself at age 100 on your deathbed, and you ask your 100-year-old self, what would they do in this moment? What decision would they want you to make right now? Then you make the decision based on that, right? And the idea of the exercise is it really cuts through all the noise, all the excuses, all the comfort, the scrolling. It gets straight to what matters most. Because when you're on your deathbed, that's when you're painfully aware of all the things, all the missed opportunities, all the regrets you have, and so forth. Instead of getting to the end of your life and having all those regrets there, you can sort of simulate the experience of being on your deathbed now, so that you can make those decisions that your future self, the 100-year-old self, will thank you for. And that's the idea of the technique. And what I've found when I do this in my own life, I tend to make pretty good decisions. So yeah, give that technique a try. Consult your 100-year-old self, and I guarantee you'll make better decisions in your life.